Hey, you know Zahaer Khalil? He's probably the most feared man in the Australian construction industry. Rumour has it that if a builder utters the word non-compliant 3 times in front of a mirror, he appears behind you. Non-compliant, non-compliant, non-compliant. Mate, do you want black mold in your house? Wipe the steam off your mirror, cuz it's foul as. If you're unfamiliar, his channel's name is pretty self-explanatory. He inspects sites as thoroughly as I inspect your mum. Oh, that's thorough as, boys. So yeah, in all fairness, I'd be scared of him if I was a dodgy builder. If I see anyone dressed in all black with that much gear on, look at him. He's a human Swiss Army knife. But I'd be especially scared amidst this national housing situation, which, might I add, is crazy. Basically because Australia is so underskilled, thanks in large part to the Liberals getting TAFE for 10 years, and as such, the quality of a lot of the builds in this country is... I mean, I went on site with him. I fully concur that they are... I still gotta make myself one of these. The fact that I haven't yet is... unbelievable. That's why you need it. It does half the script for you. Unlike our grandparents who could purchase a riverside Sydney home with a few months of elbow grease and a firm handshake. Look, what I'm implying is that your nan got her house by doing a couple of rub and tugs. Prove me wrong. And we all know housing's super expensive, and so we have this awful combination of unqualified shonks building crap and getting really rich in the process. And as an Australian man in my 30s, nothing makes me angrier. If someone said you can put one of those sharks in jail or end the war in Gaza, how much did he overcharge? Double? Nah, I'm sorry, he's gotta go, he's gotta go. As you can probably guess, in Zahaer's line of work, developers occasionally bite back. Ooh, meow. Probably should have made a dog sound for that, but look, fuck off, dog! Look at what Zahaer has to deal with. He received an email from YouTube in the form of a privacy complaint against one of his recent videos. Sound familiar? Honestly, I feel like one of those women with endometriosis. Yes, me too. More specifically, the privacy of the developer from Zahaer's recent run-in at a settlement inspection for a townhouse in Melbourne. Booked by the buyer, mind you. The developer in question had claimed that Zahaer had put his privacy at risk. They always do, don't they? Don't you think if cockroaches could hire lawyers, they'd make the exact same argument? Oh my god, just let me run my shit business in peace! It's not even that big of a deal. I've had freaks come to my house and film where I live. I didn't flag any privacy concerns, which on closer reflection I probably should have. But come on! The developer's face was blurred throughout the video. He was basically one of those witnesses they drag out on 60 Minutes. Even according to YouTube's own policies, the complainant needs to be uniquely identifiable. So unless they unblur his face and, oh, he's pixelated in real life too, how strange. I'd like to know, how is this man uniquely identifiable? All we have is that this guy is constantly repeating the same few lines over and over for 10 minutes like a broken Malibu Stacy doll.
Charged with trespass if you go back in there, okay?
That's all of them. That is every guy Zahaer has ever done a video on. You know what we could glean from this man? This is all the information you know. He works somewhere vaguely around the parameters of construction. Oh, I mean, if Australia was a game of Guess Who, 26 of the suspects would go down, I'll grant you that. But that's because we're condensing a whole country into one game. Million fucking people. This whole foo-furore only came about in the first place because earlier in August, the buyer was unhappy with aspects of the new house and requested a delayed settlement in September. They then booked an inspection with Zahaer for the week before settlement on August the 30th. They were then confronted by the hysterical developer who was visibly shitting himself, accusing them of trespassing.
Don't raise your voice. I'm talking to you in a civilized manner. We didn't break it down. It was open.
Broken into my house.
It was open. The garage is open. The garage is open. This is open. What is open? How did I unlock this?
You've gone through the front door. You're in there.
The front door's open, man. Settlement inspection. Settlement inspection.
I'm telling you, he's figured out the formula of engaging content, and that is a current affairs formula, but just keep it going. And I mean, come on. Who are you going to believe about whether the house was unlocked and open or not? The developer who still holds the keys to the place, or the guy who's been hired to come and inspect the place? Although in fairness, with how many issues there are in the house, I wouldn't be surprised to find that the locks are just painted on the doors and they're not real.
Why are you being so hostile? Just relax.
Because I know how you work.
No, what do you mean how I work?
How you work.
How do I work?
You're full of defamation.
What do you mean defamation? How am I defaming you?
You've got multiple court cases.
How? Show me. So now these are false allegations, and when we are going to do that for you as well, we're going to take you to court for false allegations towards me.
This guy just admits it. The reason that he's literally shaking in his boots is because he knows how he works. He resents the fact that a code inspector has arrived at his build to check the things that are to code. Spoiler alert, they're not. No, mate, I know exactly what you're up to. You're going to walk through the house, flag all the defects, and make me foot the bill before I get to hand it over to some unassuming family. Who's the real monster? Snitch.
Do you want a breakdown of the property?
You brought it in my house.
Waterproof is not compliant. Roofing is not compliant.
Beautiful.
Dambuster rain is everywhere.
And guess what?
Dambuster rain, know about that.
Put it in your report, mate.
That's all right.
I'm not the builder. I'm the damn owner.
That's why you're worried about.
And leave the property.
That's why you're worried about, aren't you?
I'm not worried. I'm contractually covered.
Go get everything. Yeah.
It really isn't painting the best picture of you, though, is it? Showing that little regard for the issues with the house. And then to go on to say, I'm not worried. I'm contractually covered. Admitting that on camera. Fuck, I'd be worried about my privacy too. What an ad for your business. Solid development. Oh, f you over in the fine print. Let me just remind you that this house cost the buyers over 1.1 million. And yeah, they did get f***ed over in the fine print. The buyers had to settle to purchase the property before Zahair was able to do his full inspection. And after settlement, Zahair was finally allowed to actually finish his inspection and find out what the buyers have been lumped with. And man, it was awesome! Way better than even the best houses on display at Masterton Homes. No, it was quite literally shit house. Zahair and his crew found multiple issues with the property. Not just some simple aesthetic issues either, like, oh, they didn't have one of those classic 80s glass brick walls that make you feel like a Wall Street boss that's about to fuck their secretary. Seriously though, come on. In the comments. Bring it back. It's like they misunderstood what Reagan meant when he said tear down this wall. No, not that wall, you nincompoops! Glaring defects and non-compliances which may end up bringing the house down, but back to what we really care about. Aesthetics? So much lazy shit. Things like poor rendering jobs in some spots, including on the front of the house, which looks like the apprentice was just left to the job, was heavily inspired by Minecraft, but Minecraft usually works with cubes, not rectangles. Take a look at the landscaping. Man, there's hardly much of a yard to work on, and they still decided to cut corners. It's like they literally dumped some mulch out from a wheelbarrow. There. Eat your heart out, Chinese gardens in the city. The tree doesn't even look rooted in the soil. And the garden bed still has building debris in it. The privacy screen on the deck rattles. And my God, look at that dilapidated brick wall. It's less of a real wall and more of a prop wall of fake bricks for Johnny Knoxville to ride a motorbike through. Anyway, now let's get back to the lame shit like, will this collapse in a month or so? Lame. The first thing Zahair points out in his walkthrough is the incomplete waterproofing system surrounding the perimeter of the flooring and the door cavity in the bathroom, as well as the shower itself. Not only is there no step down or hob at all, but check out how bad this is. Look at that gap. Arnold Schwarzenegger's teeth of waterproofing. As Zahair points out in his video, all of that water is eventually going to spread through the bathroom and eventually into the floorboards of the hallway. The upside is that in a year or so, the floorboards will look like Luna Park's Coney Island slide. Carpet burn your ass the fun way! Multiple issues with the roof, which Zahair classified as non-compliant. The gutters and sumps on the roof are also too shallow and not sloped enough. They're also pretty much completely unsupported underneath. What does all of this mean? It means that when there's a heavy downpour, the water has nowhere else to go except back into the walls. Over $1 million. Over $1 million. That's what that gets you these days. Come on. All the guys over 30 watching this. Yeah, too right. Dodgy builders are fucked and Sting isn't. Sting is to heterosexual males what KD Lang is to the lesos. Grey hair's probably a bit premature, but look, I lost the bald cap. Anyway, as you can plainly see, Zahair's videos are necessary. He really is trying to protect potential buyers from getting screwed over. And wouldn't you want him in your corner if you're facing one of these Lovecraftian blur monsters? I know my rights and the owners don't. That's what I mean. I'm telling you, it's a sad state of affairs that you can't trust that the biggest purchase of your life and the place that you are planning to live in is actually built properly without an independent second opinion. But unfortunately, that is where we are at the moment. And with a building boom really starting to kick off across the country, you'd better believe that a lot of these new houses are going to be getting rushed in very similar circumstances. So, if you ever are in the position to buy your own place, man, how depressing is it that I have to qualify that with if? Just make sure that you're doing your due diligence, for the love of God. Either way, be sure to check out Zahir's channel, learn about things to keep an eye out for when you can buy or rent a place, and if you're a developer, make sure that you don't draw unnecessary attention to your poorly constructed homes by accusing an inspector of trespassing when he's been booked to do a job. Or do, I guess. Look, it does make for some entertaining content. Oh, and if you like that, I'm going to be streaming with Zahir later today, so stay tuned for that.